All right, welcome back to the fourth video of the Dodge Demon 170. Here we are in my garage, vehicles on the lift. I have now surpassed the 500 mile mark. Really excited about that. And wanted to take a look at my options for exhaust. And really, I gotta say, having a lift is great for those reasons. To be able to get up under the car and see what's going on. And what I want to do on this, I was initially thinking, without modifying the car and not taking this away from like a stock standpoint, what can I do that's the simplest method that will give it the best sound? And I was thinking originally, let's do some cutouts, and looked at some videos about where to do cutouts on the Challengers. And they generally have the same setup underneath the car, which I'll show you here. And where they showed them is pretty much at these elbows, coming down from the motor just behind the cats. And if you've watched any of the videos, the idea was to put them here and put them here and wire them up and whatnot. But I've had some cutouts in the past, not very impressed with them. They leak, and some of the technology is better than when I did it. I don't know if I want to take that ride. It sounds more like a vacuum when you let off the gas pedal, and kind of obnoxious, and in some ways rattles some of the stuff here. You hear some of the air seeping through the valve when you're at a stoplight. So I think what I'm going to do is start with something that I think could work. And one of the things is, here are valves inside the rear pipes. And I think the best thing to do to start out is to give it full velocity of air, is removing the valve cover, opening them up, and putting them into a situation where we have full flow. So almost like a cold start until the car warms up. That will be the sound all the time. And I'm gonna start with a sound clip. The car is bone cold, or I should say stone cold. Definitely not bone cold. So as you can see, I can put my hands on it. Nothing's hot at all. Car's been sitting overnight. It's in the morning now. And let's start it up, and we'll get some sound clips, and we'll see pretty much what this thing sounds like stock. Then I'll do the work. You can come along the ride for that, and we'll do another sound clip afterwards. So here's the beginning shot. I'm going to put the phone down, and you will hear the vehicle. So here's the vehicle after the cold start. You can hear it's kind of calmed down a little bit. I think it's the valves that kind of start to close up, and the intent is to kind of keep the valves open. That works great. I don't need to change the exhaust. If not, I think I'm going to move towards replacing the catback system with maybe like a MagnaFlow. Saw a couple videos, it's pretty awesome. But I'm gonna let the car warm up, and then we'll come back, give it some revs. Right now the oil temp is not quite there for me to even get on it, but I want to hear how it sounds like this before we do anything. So we'll come right right back to it. All right, now that we're under the car, we're gonna go ahead and take an 8mm socket, and we're gonna loosen these up, which I've done already. And basically, once that's done, we're gonna pull off this cover, and we will see exactly what's behind there, which is a spring that pushes on the valve. All right, so you can see here, there's a lot of pressure on it. And at the moment, if I were to let my finger off, the spring would probably pop out. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. With it off, this is what it looks like. This is the Dodge Demon 170. So got a spring in there. Inside, those coils are kind of stuck in the middle. And then here is where there's two notches that we're going to feed a wire through there and through there, and we're gonna keep it so it's fixed in the current position. All right, in this particular portion, I'm gonna be using this wire I found, which is 24 gauge steel galvanized wire, a set of pliers, and some snips to cut off the excess. And what we're gonna do, now that this is removed, the spring came off right here from inside. When it's reattached, this is gonna go back on the valve. The valve won't turn, and it will still show that it's connected, but we're gonna lock this particular valve so it's in the current position. So that way it does not rotate back. It rotates or stays in one place. So in this particular case, I went ahead and looped it through. I'm gonna actually do a couple more through there. So that way, even though it's not turning beyond here, I want it to be even more firm. And I think a couple more strands will do the trick. All right, so there's the finished product. I did 3 strands through it, twisted the wire right below it out of the way. And now I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the valve cover mechanism. All the above. All right, so here's the finished product reinstalled. You can see a couple of little strands sticking out over there. Tightened down, everything's good to go. Now we're gonna switch over to this side and take care of the valve right here. All right, got the second one off. Pretty easy. The only thing that's a little tough here is there appears to be a, not sure what kind of a line this is. This may be going to a fuel tank, I'm not sure. But it's a little bit in the way, so you gotta have a shorter socket. But as of right now, this one's off. I'm gonna pull the spring out and we'll be on our way. There we go, pull that one out. Leave that there, and we'll do the same thing. All right, the work is done, and now we're gonna go ahead and turn on the car, see if we can hear any difference. This is gonna be a complete cold start. the start has calmed down, RPMs have come down, has a nice throaty sound. I'm not sure if I can tell the difference entirely, but I certainly don't want to rev it right now. Engine's cold, but I am going to drop it down off the lift, and then I can give it some revs once I get this thing down. Video. I think it's better, but now we're going to take a ride.